don't know why I thought that at this point in the season it's the right time to start a power rankings, but here we go. This is my very first power rankings of the season. And everybody's got their own opinions on what team's better, what team's worse, but before we start, I would just like to let you know in advance, shut up. It's my list. First team we were going to start off with is the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions have won 6 out of the last 7 games after starting with a 1-7 record, now 7-7. And this offense is what we thought it would be at the beginning of the season. We saw how they had the best offense in the league, but they had the worst defense in the league. Now the defense is starting to catch up, and the offense has been just as on fire, especially now with Jared Goff getting Jameson Williams added to the receiving core. The offensive line has protected Jared Goff very well, kept him upright, hasn't been sacked in 2 games, and now are only a half game out of the playoffs now. I think they're eventually going to make it in, jumping over the Commanders. I really like what the Lions are doing, so they start off my list at number 10. Number 9, another team that I was very hot on the start of the season, but they did eventually drop off, and now they're just right there back. The Jacksonville Jaguars. In the second half of the season, Trevor Lawrence has been the best quarterback in the league. First in completion percentage, has been amazing for the Jaguars, and what they did coming back against the Dallas Cowboys, against probably the best defense in the league, is incredible. The second-year quarterback Trevor Lawrence has been able to hit not just his top receiver Christian Kirk, who I have in fantasy and kind of disappointed the lack that he's been getting into him. So hopefully, can you help me out, please? I'm in the playoffs. But what he's done with this team in his second year, first-year head coach Doug Peterson, what he's done with this team, I love the Jaguars. I think that they're eventually going to make it over the Tennessee Titans to grab the AFC South. I really hope they do. I'm tired of seeing the Titans in the playoffs. I'm tired of seeing how they play. We all know what's going to happen to the Titans once they get to the playoffs. They're going to try to hand it to Derrick Henry 100 times. Tannehill's going to throw a couple interceptions. They're going to lose. Meanwhile, the Jaguars, with Trevor Lawrence, they're showing that they can compete with anybody, so I got them at number 9. Following them, a team near and dear to my heart, the Miami Dolphins. Yes, I get it. They've lost 3 games in a row. That's a little harsh, I know. However, the way they've lost games, I still think they're a really good team. This team has proven this offense can hang with anybody in the league. They went up to Buffalo and really controlled the game all the way up to the point. Maybe controls a little bit too far, but they outplayed the Bills certainly through the majority of the game. And it just so happens that Josh Allen is probably the best athlete in football. They had the right game plan. They were able to run the ball. If that's able to continue, Miami might surprise a team in the first round of the playoffs. The Dolphins' defense has been one of the weaker points of the team. And actually, if you go click the link in the bio, go over check out my Miami Dolphins Syndicate page where I cover just solely the Miami Dolphins. I've talked about how the secondary truly has been the weakest point of the team. If this team can get Byron Jones back from injury, this is a defense that's going to mightily step up in this really hot AFC. Don't sell your stock on the Dolphins. I believe they're going to win out here for the rest of the 3 games that they have, get into the playoffs, and who knows what happens when they get there. Following the Dolphins is a team that beat them not too long ago, the Los Angeles Chargers. The Chargers just needed to get healthy, and now they've finally gotten there. Austin Eckler did sustain an injury over the weekend. He probably won't miss any time, so they're finally fully healthy. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and we all know what Justin Herbert is. Justin Herbert is trying to dig down, take away some of the criticisms that people have had of him. Some people being Donovan saying that he's not clutch. He can't do it when he's needed to in the fourth quarter. And then what does he do on a tightrope? Hit Mike Williams down the sideline like he did. Justin Herbert is one of the best quarterbacks in this league. The defense is pretty beat up, so that does concern me going into the playoffs. What's going to happen against these better teams, assuming they play, let's say a Kansas City, let's say they play a Buffalo or a Miami again, and things are a little bit differently. I'm not sure how the defense holds up, but Justin Herbert is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. The receiving core is excellent. Austin Eckler has been one of the best backs this year, especially in fantasy football, even though I traded him away. But definitely, Chargers are one of the best teams in this league. You don't know whether you can trust the Chargers when it comes to the postseason, but as things stand, I have them there at number 6. Sorry, not at number 6. The team I have at number 6 is actually the Dallas Cowboys, a team that lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars this last weekend. The Cowboys are going to be fine. They have one of the better defenses in the league. It was a fireworks show that they put up between them and the Jacksonville Jaguars. They need another weapon in the receiving core. And at this point in the season, it doesn't look like Odell is going to be joining them. Looks like he's just going to wait out to the offseason to sign with the team. but they are great on both sides of the football. Mike McCarthy has had a revelation as a head coach, it appears. Let's see what happens with his play calling when it gets into the playoffs, because that's what cost him last year. The play calling within 2 minutes, the decision to run the ball with Dak Prescott when you have no timeouts in the middle of the field is still mind-boggling to this day. But they were going toe-for-toe for a team that I really like, one of the hottest teams in the league with the Jaguars. They now have the dual-headed running back core with Zeke, Tony Pollard. Zeke starts the game off strong, then they give it to Tony Pollard, and then they go back and forth. You don't know what you're going to get in each individual down, but both of those guys can handle the rock. If they had one extra piece on the wide receiving core, T.Y. Hilton, I don't believe in, but if they could have another star there, I would love this team potentially for a Super Bowl run. But as things stand, I have them at number 6 in the league. Cracking the top 5, the Buffalo Bills. Now, there is so much to like about this team, and a few things that I don't like that could end up costing them, most notably the fact that they can't run the ball. Again, Josh Allen is leading them on the ground. His 77 yards was the leading rusher for the Bills on Saturday night. That's been the case too often this year. They have not developed a run game really in the entirety that the head coach Sean McDermott finally figured it out. Entirety he's been there, they haven't really developed a running game, so Josh Allen has been dependent on so much throughout this season in the last few years. Now, for the now, that works. It's great. I just am concerned as his career progresses, what is that going to do to his body? How is he going to be able to handle the wear and tear that he's taking almost every single game at this point? But for now, this is certainly one of the best teams in the league. This is a team that went into Arrowhead earlier this year. This is a team that, even though they got outplayed on Saturday, found a way to win against the Dolphins. This is a team that can definitely win the Super Bowl. Got a few things wrong with them, but Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, how they're playing right now, they're the 5th best team in the league. Now, this one might be a little controversial. I might have them a little bit low, but it is the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs' defense has not been great in the second half of the season, and we saw that on the forefront against the Texans on Sunday. Now, the Texans did put up a lot against a really good Cowboys defense, but the passer rating that the Chiefs have been allowing to opposing quarterbacks is definitely concerning, especially with the strong AFC that has the strongest quarterback, or stronger of the two conferences when it comes to quarterbacks. The worst quarterback going into the AFC playoffs is probably going to be Tua, and Tua just led the league in Pro Bowl voting. Now, like I said, I'm a Dolphins fan. I'm well aware that he probably shouldn't be the highest voted Pro Bowler, and he's definitely not the MVP, but he's had himself a very good season and has been proving a lot of people wrong this year. The Chiefs are not able to stop the other team's quarterback, and that concerns me. Now, I do think Mahomes is the MVP, and he has had an incredible season. He might break the record for most passing yards in a season. The offense has, I don't want to say not missed a beat without Tyreek Hill, but it's been almost as electric without Tyreek Hill. I don't know if they quite have enough to win a Super Bowl, but they definitely can beat anybody any given Sunday, so I got them at number 4. Number 3, a team that I've been really high on all season, the San Francisco 49ers. It hasn't mattered that Brock Purdy has been the quarterback as opposed to Jimmy Garoppolo, as opposed to Trey Lance. They're doing exactly what they want to do. They want to get the ball out of their quarterback's hands quickly to their playmakers and let their playmakers make plays. And now we're seeing that every given week. It's a different guy who's stepping up and doing that. A few weeks ago, CMC. Then it was Debo. Now Debo's hurt. Then it's George Kittle. I'm sure Brandon Ayuk's going to have himself a great game. You can't contain all of their playmakers. And then on the other side of the ball, they have a top 3, arguably the best defense competing with the Cowboys and the Patriots in the league. I don't know how you beat this team when both teams are allotted a full week where they're just concentrating on you. When you're game planning against each other, they're going to have more ways to beat you than any other team in the NFL is going to have opportunities to beat them. It's simple as. Now, will Brock Purdy be able to stand and play like he's playing right now when it comes to the playoffs? I don't know. That's still to be seen. But the 49ers, they're the 3rd best team in the league. They might be the best team in the league. It's just a question mark whether Brock Purdy is going to be able to stand up and continue playing like this once they get to the playoffs. These last 2 teams I sat and thought about for a long time, and there's really strong arguments to be made for both of them, so I don't want to try to tear down the other one too much to elevate the other. I'm going to go with the Bengals at number 2. Well, I already spoiled the first one there. Eagles at number 1. They're really close. I mean, they're really, really close. This very well could be the Super Bowl. Now, Jalen Hurts is hurt, pun intended, this week. They're going to be without him. How the Eagles play without Jalen Hurts will make me think better or worse of them, obviously. I feel like that's kind of redundant now that I said it out loud. However, how this team plays with Gardner Minshew as opposed to Jalen Hurts. If they come out there and ball out with Gardner Minshew, oh, I feel even better about the Eagles. If they do drop off, it helps Jalen Hurts' MVP stock, but it then will make me think less of the team. If a team is able to scheme against them with Gardner Minshew as a quarterback, I will definitely think a little less of them, because the San Francisco 49ers are now on their third string quarterback and have been just fine in the process. But we haven't seen the game yet. At this point in the season, Eagles are the number 1 team. The Bengals, I still love them. They got 3-star receivers. They have 2 capable running backs. The defense has improved. The offensive line, most notably, has improved. It was a little scary at the beginning of the season. Second half of the season, they've done a better job of keeping Joe Burrow upright. The way they were down 3 scores to the Buccaneers and came back like they did, I love it. That's a championship model team. They overcame adversary on the road like they did against one of the greatest, not one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Bengals are going to be just fine. They have the best team in the AFC, but the Eagles, the defensive line, the offensive line, the ability to run the ball, the receiving core, there's no weaknesses on this team. Nick Sirianni is really impressing in his second year as head coach. I think the Eagles are the best team in the NFL. So that is my top 10 list. Power rankings currently for the NFL. Make sure to let me know down in the comments what you think. I will get to your comments. I will read all of them, but at the same time, I will still make sure to let you know, shut up. It's my list. These are my top 10 teams, but still, please indulge me. Let me know down in the comments below what you think. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and have a great rest of your day. Take care, everybody.